Hey guys, welcome to my lunge tutorial. This is an essential video for recovering from back pain if you do not have starting strength. If you do not have this starting strength, your problem is not the back pain. Your problem for your body is that your legs are not strong enough. And what I mean by that is your bones are going to be brittle. You're going to be very not fall resistant. A fall could be very catastrophic for you. And all of these muscles that are responsible for hormone production, for pumping blood around our body, have weakened, have shriveled up essentially. So this is actually going to make such a big change to your life by just getting your lunge back. Now, if you have knee problems, then you need to look at my YouTube video, Reclaiming Your Knees, and start doing that at the same time as learning to do your lunges, okay? The lunge is essential, like I said. So it's one of our starting strengths. So starting strength, we have our single leg glute bridge. There's another YouTube tutorial for that. We have our lunge and our beginner's lunge, not our ass to grass lunge or long lunge, our beginner's lunge, our 90-90 lunge, I also call this. And we have our squat. So we need to develop these three movements because they're basic human movements. The single leg glute bridge in my other tutorial is like walking, but it's like walking in the hardest way. Exercising the hamstring and glute, really, hamstring primarily. The lunge is such a practical movement. It looks like this. This is literally what you need to do every day to tie your laces, pick stuff up off the ground, climbing up the hill, climbing up the stairs. This is like a fundament of human existence. Is you need to be able to lunge. If you can't do it, again, you're prone to arthritis. You're prone to a lot of other things. I would speculate heart disease because you're not pumping well. Some of your health hormones really plummeting. And the last one is the squat. The squat is obviously much more difficult because we need a full knee bend to squat. And that's why I say if you can't squat or if you have pain in your knees lunging, do my Reclaim Your Knees. Make sure you can pass those tests. You can do the samurai sit in that video. You can do the couch stretch where you have, I'd say, at least one hand holding onto your laces. If not two hands. They're the kind of tests you want to be able to cross. So let's do the lunge. This is a tutorial. Try not to go on too long about it. How do we do this? Okay, I just gave you the demo of the lunge. So the lunge, we want a nice pad under our knee here, okay, and we want support. So if you're an older client or a weaker client, if you don't have support and you just do this here, and you could fall and you hurt yourself or hurt your knee, and you might be able to get. If let's say I can't come back up from this position like this, if I can't do that, I'm going to put so much strain. I'm literally at my limit. I could collapse my knee inwards. I could grind the kneecap off my femur too hard. Just trying to, or I could put my weight on and pushing. I hurt my knee by pushing it too hard like that. So it's really not a good idea to try and just push this as hard as you can. And really importantly, if you're not used to doing this exercise, you're going to get what's called DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. DOMS is when you're not used to doing an exercise and the next day your muscles are really sore. So the harder you push yourself as a beginner, the more DOMS you're going to have. Now, DOMS does not just mean your muscles are sore. Your whole nervous system could shut down a little bit. When I'm powerlifting here, if I haven't powerlifted in a while, it could have such bad DOMS that I feel a depression in my nervous system. Like I'm so tired, I'm so negative in my mind, and it's because I've pushed myself too hard too soon coming back into my program. So if you're conditioned, you won't really have DOMS. If you're totally deconditioned and you can't do this, be gentle going into it. Do just 5 to 10 reps a day. As you feel more confident with that after the first week goes by, do more reps, do more rounds, and you can just build it up. Use weights then from there, okay? So this is just a disclaimer for DOMS, because some of my clients in my earlier days had such bad DOMS, they literally mightn't come back into me again, or they might come back in and say, I was so sore after doing those lunges. I had to take painkillers. I'm like, I didn't realize how bad, people's legs were, that they were like that. So just try and take it easy as a beginner. Just ease yourself into it. 5 to 10 reps. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Your goal is to be able to have your hands like this, upright. You come down, your knee touches the floor. It has to touch. You don't be hovering here. Let it touch the floor and then come back up. That's it. If you've got a bad toe on your back foot and you don't want to bend it, stick on a runner. Yeah, a nice good trainer or a boot, and that will stop your toe from bending too much, okay? Now, most of you, if you're looking at this video, you're not going to be strong enough to do this, so you need support. And we think of this as a mechanical system, okay? It is, for me, I'm 80 kilos, so maybe my leg here is carrying like, 65 kilos to lift me up here. So if that's too heavy for my leg, I'm going to take weight out of the system by putting weight into my hand here and resting it on my chair, my couch, or my whatever beside me, okay? And then I can help myself, okay? If I need even more help, one moment, I can have another support here beside me where I put my 2 hands down. And you want to make sure that when you come up here, you're not locking your knee, but you're really trying to stand up well here, okay? So coming up and down with this hand of support, maybe 2 hands of support. So if you're very, very weak here in your legs, you're gonna have 2 hands, and that's okay. Just focus on getting this muscle really tired. If you make the muscle tired, it's going to adapt. Fatigue is the gateway to adaptation. How do you make your body stronger? You make it tired, and it will adapt. So if you're a total beginner, let's just do an example, okay, and your leg is not strong enough to do this unsupported with good form, then you say, I need 2 hands. That's fine, use 2 hands. You're going to come up and down, and you're going to do that again and again and again until this leg is so tired. Whoa, wow, I feel that is quite tired. Now, like I said, 5 to 10 reps just as a total beginner, just so you don't burn out. But after your first, 3 to 7 days, you can start making it more and more tired. The more tired you make it, the stronger you'll get. And soon, you'll be strong enough to just use the one hand for support. And you'll go, oh, I got my first rep. Now, when you're climbing up the ladder, so when you're trying to get better at this, let's say you're using 2 hands and you want to go to 1 hand, or you're using 1 hand and you want to go to no hands. You don't just try that on your first go, because your knee is going to be stiff. Your body is going to be uncoordinated and not used to driving force in this way first thing in the morning. So pull back, get really warm, maybe do a full set with 1 hand for support. And then they say, okay, I'm ready to do no hands for support. I take 1 or 2 minutes break, you come back, and then you're going to go, you make your attempts, take a few attempts at it, but it's a natural occurrence. Your legs get so incredibly strong. When I started powerlifting, I could do 5 repetitions of an 80 kilogram squat. After 1 year, I could do 175 kilogram squat. So your legs just get so strong if you give them the right training, okay? So let's say you're totally starting from the bottom, okay? Put my hands here and here. I'm going to come up and down. It's just my first day, and I'm going to do that 5 to 10 times. And I might say, okay, I'm a little bit tired there. That's enough for me. Let's say 1 week later, okay? You can push yourself now. I'm 1 week in, I'm working it out, my knee's touching every time, and I'm keep on working until this leg is, oh wow, that leg is very tired, okay? Let's say now you're on week 2, you've done that for a few days. Even if you did every second day, that's very good to create the tiredness. Now in week 2, you say, okay, I want to try going up to 1 hand. You never put your hand on your knee, by the way, because then you're just pushing through a hard object, which is your shin connected into the floor. So you're actually just doing like a press up here rather than your leg doing the work here, if that makes sense. So just don't trick yourself. It's also not good to be putting all this pressure on your knee. If you're uncoordinated, you can actually hurt your knee by pushing into it the wrong way. Okay, so you're going to go and try and do your one-handed one now as a beginner. And you've just done a set here. You don't have to go to total exhaustion, but you want to feel warmed up. You feel, yeah, I'm ready. I feel nice and warm. I just did 5, 10 reps. I've taken a rest for a minute. Okay, am I ready? 1 hand is supporting me here. I go, okay, here we go. Okay, 1, great. I got my first one. And then you start building up how many of these can I get of just one-armed until you can do 10. Okay, so you want to be able to do 10 one-armed ones before you can really do a no-handed one. And a lot of this is just confidence. So you have to build up your confidence. What we do here is, let's say I'm using 2 hands for support and I want to graduate to 1 hand for support. What I'm going to do is I use my 1 hand, okay? My 1 hand is planted on the table just in case you can't see that here. I'm going to come down as slowly as I can. And I say, oh, right here I'm starting to feel my bum muscle working. I'm going, oh, slower, slower, slower. Okay. So I had 1 hand down supporting me. Let's say I want to go from 1 hand. Let's say I've got 10 reps on 1 hand now, and after a few weeks of doing this, and I want to get my first one with no hands. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come down with supports beside me, but I will just have my hands hovering, and I'm going to come down slowly, slowly, slowly. So I'm building up the strength in my legs. It's getting used to balancing me and carrying me here. Oh, touch down. And then I put my hand down and lift back up. And that's how I'll do my reps. I come down, I said I'm ready to do the no hands, but I'm not strong enough yet really. So I come down slowly, feel the burn, because the burn is you getting stronger, okay? That is how you graduate from 2 hands to 1 hand to no hands. And then when you can do 10 repetitions with no hands, you've completed your starting strength. So you've completed your starting strength at that stage. Very, very good. A lot of the time I see with some of my clients with degenerated knees or weakness is your knees have problems when you start to do lunges. It generally means you're pushing yourself too hard. So back off until you're pain free. If dropping your knee down here is too low for you, you can just lift that up a little higher with a pillow and like this. And you just come down to here, okay? And follow the same principles, just don't go as low until, just like when you go from 2 to 1 hands, you can go a little bit lower here, okay? As you practice the reclaim your knees video with this, okay? This is going to fix your knees. It's going to start building the suspension, the monster truck suspension. And then we can get to a level where we can really build more and more advanced strength concepts. If you're very weak in your legs, don't rush, okay? Every day that you're successful of doing this and creating fatigue is a massive win for you, trust me. I have people in here, nearly every day of the week going through these processes. I've seen it for years. I know how this works. So every time you can create fatigue and tire yourself out and play the game is, on Monday, I could only do 10 with 2 hands. On Tuesday, I could only do 10 again, but I tried hard. On Wednesday, my muscles had adapted and I could do 12 with 2 hands. Okay, Luke said, once I can do more than 10, let's start doing the 1 hand. So then on Thursday, I did 1 set of 10 with my 2 hands. And then on my next round, I went and I did my 1 hand slow, they're called slow eccentrics. That's where you support yourself on the way down really slowly and you start building up that strength there. So you start in Thursday, you're doing that, and then maybe on Sunday you take Sunday off, of course, and then on Monday after week 1 you get your first one-handed lift. All right, so there's an example of you try to beat your numbers as you progress up the ladder that I've outlined here. Now there's a lot of information here, so let this digest and maybe come back and watch this again tomorrow. If you are doing a program with me, or if you're not doing a program with me, then I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it really helps you. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'll be very happy to help you. Okay, that's everything, guys. I think there's a lot in that, I suppose, but that's your starting strength. And for me, this is the way to fix your back, right? So this is going to really build up your quad, the front of your thigh, and your glute. And because of that, they're going to be sore in the first few times you do this. Every time you push yourself to your next limit, you're going to be a little bit sore. For me, I welcome this. I say this is the cost of me getting stronger. If you're new to this can be quite shocking for you. So just take it easy, build into it slowly, okay? Have a lovely day, guys. Peace.